Hello, everyone, and welcome again to the Big and Tall Movie Review Show. It is Friday, July 26th. With me, as always, is
Big Red. What's up, everybody?
How are we doing? Maximus is with us.
Hello, how's it going?
We've been on a little bit of a summer hiatus, but we are back reviewing movies. So next time you're standing in front of the red box, you'll remember what we said, and you won't have to call some friend of yours and look dumbfoundedly into the ceiling like I just saw at the Conoco next to my house. All right, the movie we are going to look into tonight is actually, Max was telling me this is number one worldwide right now, kind of top-notch. The Conjuring, and this is James Wan's latest. And what else has he done recent, like in his past?
Well, he kind of got the Saw franchise started, where he came around, and he's done a few other haunted house movies. I think he's producer on the Paranormal series.
Yeah.
And also Insidious was one of his.
Insidious, yeah. I think I've heard of this guy.
Also Patrick Wilson.
Well, it seems to be pretty popular, and there's seems to be maybe a dark horse surprise summer. Maybe a little bit as far as box office take. So let's go ahead and do this. It's The Conjuring, and here is your preview for it.
What are you guys?
Well, we've been called ghost hunters, paranormal researchers.
But we prefer to be known simply as Ed and Lorraine Warren.
There's someone here that would like to talk to you.
There's something horrible happening in my house.
It's November 1st, 1971. I'm sitting here with Carolyn Perrin, who, with her family, has been experiencing supernatural occurrences. You picking up anything in here, hon?
Something awful happened here, Ed.
What is it?
Whatever Lorraine sees, feels, touches, it takes a toll on her. A little piece each time.
You have a lot of spirits in here, but there's one that I'm most worried about because it is so hateful.
Okay, a lot of paranormal activity going on here with Ed and Lorraine Warren as far as dealing with, spirits and energies and such. Max, can you give us a little rundown on The Conjuring?
Yeah, basically it's the story of a family that moves into an old farmhouse that they were evidently the first first outside of the original inhabitants' family in whatever 7, 8 generations.
I guess would be what you would say.
Right, yeah, basically people that just bought the house without any knowledge of its horrible, bloody,
what had gone on
past.
Before, yeah.
But a family with the husband and wife and 5 daughters. Lily Taylor and Ron Livingston are the parents, and they were both quite good in it. Lily Taylor especially, I like her a lot.
Yeah. She's got a good history with all the stuff she's done in the past. So 5 daughters, and they take over this house, and they've moved in. They've just got all
basically,
breaking loose.
All the daughters start basically getting tormented or manipulated by these angry spirits inhabiting the house, but without giving too much away,
Yeah. But as far as the intensity of it and everything, you really feel like James Wan has kind of moved. You were saying he might be taking over the from movies?
Well, I was saying he kind of kicked off what a lot of people call the torture porn subgenre of horror movies.
Yeah,
with the Saw movies and whatnot.
Yeah,
and now he seems like he's kind of moved over to the haunted house.
Yeah, the eat your leg out of the bear trap type thing, or you're die type. And now he's moved over
to the blockbuster.
But it sounds like he's knocked it out of the park with this. I mean,
yeah, he really did with this one. Because, I'm having a hard time finding things to criticize about it, honestly.
Well, I mean, that's great. I mean, I wouldn't want to say anything about it as far, but you were quite surprised, being, if most Maximus is kind of our horror movie expert on the show, and if something's going to catch him by surprise, I would take your word on it that this did, and you were like, hey, this, holy cow, a little creepy in some situations in this film.
Well, rarely do movies disappoint as little as this one did.
Yeah, okay. And pretty interesting, I guess. This was written by, I guess, I don't know if the screenplay or the whole story, by Chad Hayes and Carrie Hayes. Now, what were you telling me a little bit about the Ed and Lorraine Warren? This takes place in 1971, so it's kind of which I actually dig, that look back type horror feel.
Yeah, well, this is based on a true story, and they were real life paranormal investigators back in the 60s and 70s. There was been a few movies made out of some of the investigations that they were a part of, like The Haunting in Connecticut and some others. But yeah, they really kind of played up the fact that it was based on actual events and had some actual family photos from both the Warren family and the Warren family.
What I'd like to know here is, and I know you are. I'm not as big into the horror, and I know you are. But for me, it's hard to find the good ones, because it seems like every month there's like 3 or 4 mediocre looking PG-13 crap fest that are coming out with, and then I think it hurts something like this, because to me, I probably would not have thought about seeing this, because there's so many other ones out there that are.
Yeah, this one was kind of a diamond in the.
I mean, what is for you? What are some things that you see that says, hey, okay, I think this will be a winner. How do you weed through the find the good stuff through the crap? What are some signs that you look for?
Movies that seem like they're dwelling a little bit more on building the suspense rather than just having a bunch of overblown special effects in your face of ghostly figures or whatnot. I mean, this movie played a lot on the darkness and the creaky floors and hearing footsteps that shouldn't be there and stuff like that. Just really old school kind of tricks. Yeah.
I think the James Wan directing it too. I mean, you kind of that's like William Friedkin or somebody that's good at their craft, craft of horror movies. You're going to say, hey, I'm going to go see this, because
he's a really talented director and a relatively young one.
Yeah.
No, in fact, he's moving on to the Fast and Furious franchise. So
I think that
big things for him.
It's worth a look.
It's nice that there at least is a movie out that doesn't have the 2 or a 3 behind the title. It's not based on a comic book or it's not a remake of an old show. It's nice to at least see some original material doing well.
Even for another haunted house movie, I mean, it had you didn't feel like you were watching something you'd seen.
And I've always been a big fan of Patrick Wilson and most everything he's in. He's one of those guys that you kind of maybe don't know by name, but when he's usually pretty good in everything he does.
Yeah, and this was no exception. He was really good.
Yeah. Stars Vera Farmiga as Lorraine, and
I really liked her in Departed and Up in the Air. I thought she was really
Patrick
good in both
Wilson's
those.
Ed Warren.
I kind of like her as Norman Bates' mom.
I haven't seen that one.
In the previews, it kind of gives you a taste of what the Lorraine Warren and the drain that dealing with seeing the paranormal and stuff puts on her, and I was curious if that's kind of. I'm sure they play into that quite a bit in the film, as far as her battling that and dealing with that. And you hear stories of paranormal and certain situations, and that seems like that would be kind of the case. The physical, the anxiety drain of seeing things that,
Well, she's playing a clairvoyant who obviously can just see the energies that the intense
the hell
happenings
that
have
has
left
happened
behind.
before. Yes.
Just curious, are the people that's based on, are they still alive, like the
Actually, that's a
paranormal
good
people?
question. I have.
That's a very good question. But The Conjuring, nonetheless,
I'm not
is
sure.
is-
It did not mention them being dead at the end of the movie when
Yeah.
they were kind of giving you a little bit of fill-in information.
and so I mean, but The Conjuring, you got to think this is. I wouldn't say it's a big surprise because I think a lot of people were really into it, from what I can tell, as far as the anticipation of it coming out. But maybe as far as summer blockbuster take home, hey, I think it's doing probably
It's
better.
doing much better than most of the other movies that were expected to
To
bring
do
in
something,
big
yes.
bucks
Yeah.
this year.
Something that has Johnny Depp in it.
Idaho
or anything.
Silver.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, Max, as far as is this PG-13?
No, this is actually R.
It is R.
Well,
It was
that's
a
why it's
welcome.
Yeah.
yeah. Though Max, we're all having some cans tonight. So, what would you give this as far as your rating?
Like I said, I honestly really racked my brain to find something to criticize about this movie, and the only thing I could think of was that the preview gives a couple of good parts away. So I think I'm gonna have to give it about 5.5 cans.
Wow. Well, there you go.
That's about how many cans Ralph's had since the show
No,
started.
no, that's pretty high rating for the Big and Tall Movie Review Show. So, and from what I gather, this is worth the watch. So, people, if you haven't seen The Conjuring, I would go check it out.
Any movie that sends kind of a shiver up my spine later that night is kind of how I judge how
Yeah.
actually scary a movie
Yeah.
was. And that one definitely had me kind of looking over my shoulder when I was sneaking down to the fridge at 3 a.m. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, that sounds very like it's getting the job done as far as the on the edge of your seat and kind of giving you the creeps all around. So, The Conjuring, 112 minutes. Go check it out. I think we give it our high regards here at the Big and Tall Movie Review Show. We're going to look at some other pictures here in just a minute and discuss some of the things that didn't do so well this summer so far. And we'll be right back. Big and Tall Movie Review Show.